perform operations like get, post, put, and what is that? Delete. So that is creating a resource, reading a resource, modifying the resource, and deleting the resource. So these operations you do it when you go for REST. But for every request method, there is one method provided by which class? View class. And these methods you override. These methods you override in class to perform a specific operation. To perform a specific operation. Okay, right? So anyway, so I just wanted to show you, but it is just displayed only request methods like that. Okay, I just copy this code. Now this is a view class. This is view class, which is a super class, which is a super class for all the views, which is a super class for all the views. Right now, this is view, and this is your forms.py. So I created one model form, forms.py. So this is your model form, and this is your template. So emp underscore create dot html. Now this is your template, and this is urls.py. So just define urls.py. That's a model. So you try to define the model here. So there is a models.py. Now this is a model. So in settings.py, you do some configurations. So what do you do it? You install the application, and define the backend. Install the application and define the backend, and define what here? Database. Define the backend and define the database, right? Okay, now this is a simple application. Now DJANGO also provides a generic views. Okay, DJANGO also provides what here? Generic views. Now what is a generic views is generalized views. Okay, generic views are nothing but generalized views. Generalized views. Generic views are nothing but generalized views. What is the meaning of generalized? For example, now here I write a view. Which view I created here? EMP create view. In EMP create view, I write a logics here. This much logic I have written. I have written this much logic for creating which one? Employee. In the same way, my application required to create department. Then again, I have to write this much code. So no, this is creating which one? Employee. But I want to create even department. I want to create department. Create employee, create department. Then for creating department, again I have to write this much logic or not? Yes. So it means you are repeating the same code again and you are repeating the same code again and again. You are repeating the same code again and again. Suppose you are developing a project for a school. School means you need to create a student, you need to create a teacher. When teacher joins, you have to create teacher. When student join, you should create what? Student. Logic is the same. Logic is the same. What is here? Logic is the same or different? Same. Which one is changed? Model is changed. Logic is the same, but which one is changed? Model. So first is you are inserting in student model. Second, you are inserting in what? Teacher model. But you are writing the same code how many times? Again and again. To avoid this code redundancy, that is the advantage of views. Okay, views advantage is drive principle. Means don't repeat yourself. Means don't repeat the code again and again. Don't repeat the code again and again. To overcome that redundancy, this Django is provided which views? Generic views. It means generic views are generalized views which contain the common operations which are do in what application development or project development. So you don't require to write that code. That code is already given by whom? Django. You need to inherit. You need to just inherit. What do you need to inherit? Classes. You need to inherit the classes and you should override. I should inherit a class and you should override. See, this is a view class. This is my view class. Now here, if I want to insert, suppose, if I want to insert in, if I want to insert into, if I want to insert into DPT table, I have to change the form. I have to change the form from EMP form to which form? DPT form. That's all. But every logic is the same or different? Same. Remaining logic is the same, but only form is changing and template is changing. Okay, only form is changing and what? Template is changing, but everything is what here? Same. Then why you write the code again and again? You don't require to write the code again and again. So that is what is the advantage of inheritance. What is the advantage of inheritance? Reusability and extensibility. You'll say, now what is inheritance? Generally, what is inheritance? You'll say, acquiring the properties and behavior of one class inside another class. Means you are trying to acquire the properties and behavior of parent class within child class. Parent class is which class? Generalized class. In hierarchy of inheritance, parent class is which class? Generalized. Generalized means what? Which is developed based on commonality. Common. Animal is a common. Animal is a common. Animal contain the common properties and methods of all the animals. Dog is a specialized. Cat is a specialized. Cow is a specialized. Dog inherits animal. Cat inherits animal. Cow inherits animal. Animal is what? Generalized. Dog, cat, these are what? Specialized. Specialized means it is having common and is having his own features. Student is generalized. Student is what? Generalized. MBA student is what? Specialized. MCA student is what? Specialized. Engineering student is what? Specialized. But student is generalized. Means what it is having some common properties of all the student. Every student is having roll number, name and course. Will you write roll number, name, course every time? Huh? No. You write how many times? One time. And use how many times? Number of times. By using what? Inheritance. So inheritance provide code reusability. So properties, variables can be reused and methods can be reused. How many things can be reused? Variables can be reused and methods can be reused. So that is done by using which one? Inheritance. Okay. So now DJANGO provides some generic views. And generic views are nothing but generalized views. And these views provide the operations which is common for one or more than one view. It provides common functionality. It provides what? Common functionality. Functionality belongs to what? One or more than one view. So this avoids, okay, this avoid what? Code what? Redundancy. This avoid code redundancy. This avoid code redundancy means you don't require to write the same code again and again. Now suppose you want to create a record. Means if you want to insert the data, then you just use now the generic views are exist in DJANGO dot views dot what is the name of this? Generic what? Module. It is available in DJANGO dot views dot generic module. Okay, right? Now this is the module where you find all these generic views. Suppose you want to create a record. you want to create a record or you want to insert a record, you want to insert a row, just use one view. What is the name of the view? Create view. What is the name of the view? Create view. Now logic is there, but what is the input you should give? What is the input you should give? Model. You should just give only a model template. You should give a model as well as what? Template. But are you writing any code for inserting? No. That code is already there. That code is what? Already there. That code is already there. You don't require to write the code again and again. Inserting logic is same for all the views are different. Same. Why you want to write the same code again and again? That code is written in which class? One class. Which class it is? Create view class. It is a predefined view class. It is a predefined view class. It is a predefined view class, and this view class override the methods. Which methods it override? Post method. So create view superclass is which one? View. And view is having how many methods like get and post. Now create means, is it a get method or post method? Post method. It is already written. That logic is already written. But what do you have to do? Override. Override some properties. Override some properties. Now this makes your application development more easy, right? So these are predefined generic view classes. These are predefined generic view classes. And what are this predefined is, there is a create view, there is a create view, and there is what here? Update view. Who's that? So there is a create view and there is what here? Update view. Create view, update view, and there is what? Delete view. Create view, update view, delete view, and there is a list view, and there is what here? Details view. Now these are predefined view classes. Now this is nothing but the classes which are used to perform which operations? CRUD operations. Now create view is having a logic of creating a row or creating instance or inserting data. And update view is having a logic of updating the record. And delete view is having a logic of deleting. And list view is having a logic of listing all the records. And details view is used to get only one record. You want to read the information of one employee, then go for which one? Details. I want to know the details of one employee, then just go for which one? Details. Otherwise, you have to write emp dot model manager dot get. This logic you have to write right. Instead of writing this logic is already written in what? These views. You are just inheriting and overriding certain variables. Overriding certain variables. Now let me talk about one view here. Okay. So first I'll talk about simple view. And what is the name of the view? List view. List view is there. Okay, list view. What is a list view? The name itself, right? This view is used to list what? Rows or list data exist in what? Model. So list view. Okay, list view is a generic view. Okay, list view is a predefined which class? View class. And this class is used to read or list which details? Read or list which details? Read or list details from which one? Model. If you want to read the data from model is nothing but what? Table. If you want to read the data from any table, you just use which view class here? List view class. You just inherit list view class and override certain variables. Now see here, let me tell you. I want to read whose details? Tell me, I want to read whose details? Employee details. I want to read whose details? Employee details. Then I'm saying EMP list. Suppose if list view is not there, then you have to write your own logic. What is a yes or no? If the list view is not there, list view is not there, okay, then you should inherit which class? View class. I should inherit which class? View class. And you need to override which method? Get method. See here. This is without using list view. You have to override which method? Get method. Then after that, you have to import from application one dot models import. What is the name of the model? EMP model. Because I need to read the data from this, right? Then I'll say query set. What should I write? EMP. EMP model dot objects dot all. You are reading all the data. Then you should say response. Response equal to what? Render. A request comma. You should give the template name or not? Yes. EMP list dot HTML. EMP list dot HTML comma. You should give the context name or not? Yes. The context name. What is that? Query set and colon query set. Then after that, you should say what here? Response. Now this logic you have to write. Now this logic is only for which list? EMP list. If it is a DPT list, I want to read the details of department. Okay, department model. Suppose now you write a DPT list. See here, DPT list. And DPT list inherit which class again? View class. Then again you will say what? Query set. Then assume that this is which model? DPT model. Assume that objects dot model manager dot which one? All. Then is it this code is the same? Tell me, this code is the same or different? Same. This code is the same. You are writing again and again. But which one is changed? Which one is changed? Only which one is changed? Model and template. Only model and template is changed, but everything is the same or not? Yes. No. Now, instead of writing the same code again and again, what do you do it? This redundant code is written already. You should override here again get method. So here you should override which method again? Get method, and you should include this code. So instead of writing the same code again and again, this code is already written. This code is already written. You don't require to override any methods. You just write here EMP list, inherit which view? List view. And here you have to override some variables. Now this list EMP list view should read the data from which model? This EMP list should read the data from which model? EMP model. Just give the model name. Model. Which model? EMP model. That's it. EMP model. Okay. Now this EMP list get the data from which model? EMP model. Then after getting the data, I should render. It should render or not? Yes. It should render in one template. It should render into one template or not? Yes. It should render into one template. You just write template name. Template name. What is the template name? EMP underscore list dot HTML. So this is abstraction or not? Yes. Implementations are hidden. Implementations are visible or hidden? Hidden. Implementation details are hidden. You don't know implementations. You are just giving model. This is a model and this is a template. This is a model and this is a template. You want to define the context object. I'm writing your context object. What is the context object name you want to use inside this template? But by default, it will create a template also. You don't require to give these names also. By default, it will create a template with what name? Model name. By default, it will create a context with what name? Model name. But I want to give my own name. I want to give my own name. I want to give my own name. Because of that, I'm giving template name equal to emp list.html and context object name. I'm giving name as what here? emp. emp. Anything you now. What is context object now? Query set. This is nothing but what? Query set. This is a query set. But are you created any query? Huh? Are you created any query? No. But when you send a request, always the request is processed by calling which method? Whenever you send a request, the request is processed by calling which method? Get method or post method. But are you override any get or post? Are you override get or post? No, you are not override get or post. But this get method is there in which view? List view. So if it is not available in the subclass, you know it. What is that? Method resolution order, right? MRO. MRO, na? What is MRO in what is MRO? Method resolution order. MRO stands for method resolution order. Method resolution order. So where it look for? First in which class? First it will look inside which class? Child class. If it is not available in child class, then it look inside which class? Parent class. Is it get method is there in this class? No. Then it look inside which class? List view class. Get method is there in list view class? Yes. Call it to process which one? Request. So always the request is processed by calling which methods? Request methods like get and what? Post. But are you write any get or post methods? Are you write any get or post methods? No, you have not written. But is it get method is called or not? Yes. You have not written any methods. But those methods are inherited from which class? List view class. And list view is inherited from which class? View class. Yes, it's generalized. Okay, right? Now that get method is using which model? EMP model. What is the template it is using? EMP list underscore HTML. What is the context object name? EMP. Easy. Now, what is your job now? What is your job? Just create only template and read the data. Create the template. What is my template I should create? Go to the templates and create a template. What is the template is? EMP list.html. Yes or no? EMP list.html. Now here I should read the data. I should read the data. Okay, right? Then I want to create one again table. I want to create a table. So this is a table and I'm using a for loop for row in. What is your query set object name? EMP. What is your query set object name? EMP. Then if you want to give the headings, you can give the heading. Table, heading, table row and table heading. This is employee number, employee name, and this is job, and this is what here? Salary. So same thing. So table data. What should I insert here? I should insert, right? What should I insert here? Employee number, employee name, job and salary. Insert row dot what? Employee number. Okay, insert row dot employee name. Insert row dot. What is that row is? Job. Column name. Your query set content. Row dot. What is that? Salary. Over. That's all. But are you written anything inside this viewer? Are you written anything inside the view, or just to define the properties? Just to define the properties. Properties of which view? List view. And what are the properties you define? This list view should read the data from which model? EMP model. And it should render into which list? Into one template. What is the template is? EMP list.html. And then in emp list.html, it should render with one context. I mean, this is query set name. And what is my query set name? EMP. Understood? Right? So it is very simple. It is generalized. Now you can customize this also. We'll say that again. After this, what you have to do? You have to define the URL. This is which view now? List view. And here I'm saying a path. Okay, I'm just writing a list emp comma list viewer. What is our view name? emp what? List. Emp list viewer, emp list view will write because it is a view, right? So this is emp list view, and here I'm writing emp list view as what here? View. Comma. Okay, right? So we have written this. After this, now just check your server is already running. No. So run the server here. Oh, not imported this. We have to import, right? So from what? DJANGO dot viz dot generic. Import which view? Import which view? List view. Okay, right? Now you don't have any errors. Okay, right? Okay, right? So after this, now we have to import that django.views.generic. And what is the name of the view? List view. So send a request now. And what is the name of this here? List EMP. Oh, and for missing and for is open, but for is not closed. For is open, for should be closed. Percentage and for. So right. So what is the default request method is get, because you are typing URL, right? Oh, what is the employee details here? Employee number, where is the details? Empty, huh? Records are there or not there? There, right? So somewhere so in the view, okay, now here, now we define the EMP model. Model is there. We imported model. 1 minute. Okay, we imported model, right? What is the name of this here? 1 minute. I said them, don't give the notification. I'm getting notification, right? Class timing. Okay. So I said them, don't send any notification. So all these are the fields. See here, these fields must be override. Okay, this fields has to be override. What is the name of this is? List view, right? So model name is given. EMP list is given. Context object name is EMP. Oh, for row in, row dot employee number, row dot employee name. So row dot job and row dot salary. So what is the name of the class? List view. So we use the template name and so we use a model property. Oh, context object. This is a mistake. Context object name. But what I've given? Context object. So simple mistake. So Python, some manage.py. So manage.py run server. So now refresh this and send a request. And what is the name of this? List EMP. Now you can see all these employee details are not. Yes. So, but are you written any code? Are you written any code? No. You are just given only input. What is the input is given? EMP model. What is the template name I've given? EMP list.html. And what is the context object name I've given? EMP. That's all. Understood? So, but are you written any method called getter? You have not written any method called get, but it is called which method? Get method. But get method of which class? List is here. What is the request method is get. What is the request method is get. Request method is a get. But is it git method is there or not there? Not there. But it will, if it is not there in a subclass, then it will search in which class? Super class. What is a super class for EMP list view? List view. So get method is there in which view? List view. And that uses which model? EMP model and execute the query. Query is executed by using model manager. Objects dot all. Objects dot all. Without executing query, is it query set is created or not created? Not created. But who's executing this query? Get method of which class? Get method of which class? List view class. You are not writing any code, but that code you are using from which class? List view class. Now this doesn't require to write the same code again and again. Okay, right? Now there are some more predefined view classes out there. That is create view, update view, delete view, and one more is what? Details view. So that we'll discuss not today, but we'll see on next class. Like next class is on Monday, we'll see it, right? But you understood this? What is the use of generic view classes? Generic means generalize. Generalize means common functionality. Okay, common functional, all models, common functionality. What is the common functionality of models? Inserting, updating, deleting, and retrieving. That is a common functionality. Will you write the cut that common functionality every time? Huh? No. You write that common functionality how many times? One time. That common functionality you write how many times? Only one time. And use it how many times? Number of times. By using inheritance. By using inheritance. Inheritance provide reusability and extensibility. We reuse. Which one is we reuse? List view we reuse. And then we are extending, means adding some new features. What features you added to list view? I don't want your model, I want my model. I don't want your template, I want my template. I don't want your context object name, I want my context object name. That's it. Understood? Right? Even we can define a forms. All this you can define it. That we'll discuss. Not today, but on Monday we'll see it. Right? Thank you. We'll see you on Monday. Right? Only one row is not list view, details view. Yes. Done. డేటా లేని ఎట్లా వస్తుంది రాదు కదా అవును టేబుల్ క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది మీరు వెన్ యూ సే మైగ్రేషన్స్ మేక్ మైగ్రేషన్స్ ఇట్ విల్ క్రియేట్ టేబుల్ ఓకే once we complete some concepts we'll develop one project. Now once we complete session management once we complete it then we'll develop project. Okay. बोलो यार model form रहे तो if you want to check the validation then do it. If you don't want validations don't do it. This is a model form. No, this is model form. क्रिएट करो यार क्या है उसमें मैं अपलोड करना जरूरी है क्या आप क्रिएट कर सकते हैं ना नहीं नहीं मैं क्या बोला जस्ट टेकन एज एन एग्जाम्पल यार किधर है वो मॉडल फॉर्म किधर है मैं बोला यार ऐसा कर सकते बोल के बोला मैं बस उतना ही I didn't create any model. If you want to check the validation set what model form the way how you are writing a generic form वैसे ही आप मॉडल फॉर्म में भी कर सकते बोल के बोला मैं मगर मैं क्रिएट नहीं करा, वो एप्लीकेशन क्रिएट नहीं करे, अरे वो क्रिएट ही नहीं करा, फिर एरर नहीं आता। क्रिएट करा क्या मैं? जो फॉर्म में करे वैसे ही मॉडल फॉर्म में कर सकते बोल के बोला मैं। समझ में है? हाँ? मॉडल क्रिएट करे क्या अपन? फिर ऐसा कर सकते बोल के मैं लिखा। हाँ?